We're looking right now at the view from a helicopter flying off the west coast of Vancouver Island, searching for the MV Sunsea. It is out there somewhere, the 60-meter freighter filled with human cargo. The boatload of Tamil migrants could land on Vancouver Island as early as tonight. It was earlier today that the Sunsea moved within Canada's 200-mile offshore limit, with reports of hundreds of people on board and at least one person dead. The ship cannot be boarded and escorted to shore until it is closer, once inside Canada's territorial waters, but that may happen within a matter of hours. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. The ship carrying the Tamil migrants could land as early as tonight. The Sunsea within that limit now, and we are watching as the preparations continue onshore for the arrival. Police boats are in the inner harbor. HMCS Winnipeg has set sail, and a special ward is being prepared in the old emergency room at Victoria General Hospital. Where the ship docks is still a question. It may be taken directly to CFB Esquimalt. Some tents have popped up on the Colwood side of the harbor, but that may not be new. The last refugee ship that was brought ashore came here at Ogden Point, and that's where our Stephen Andrews is standing by with an update on the story tonight. Stephen.
Hudson, though Canadian officials won't confirm whether that ship is destined for Vancouver Island, more specifically Victoria, they are certainly spending a lot of money and a lot of activity on preparing for its arrival. Workers at Victoria General Hospital take a break during what has been a very hectic couple of days. They have been cleaning sections of the hospital for Tamil migrants expected to arrive on Vancouver Island within 24 hours. Outside the medical centre, a flurry of ambulance officials and health authority executives are seen planning for the would-be refugees' arrival. But what that plan is, no one is saying. Tonight, we can tell you what that plan is. Any migrants needing medical attention will be brought here to Victoria General Hospital, to the south side of the building where the old emergency ward was located. You can see tarps have been placed up around the emergency room for privacy. Once they're brought in there, they will be triaged and then taken to a ward on the 7th floor of the building, which is under strict security control. Hospital staff have also been fitted with special masks and goggles to prevent transmission of infection. And sources tell A News carpenters have been working inside the hospital to remove anything that could be used as a weapon. The health authority says if migrants need to be treated, its top priority will be the safety and security of staff providing care. Armed guards will be present. The Canadian Red Cross is also preparing for the Tamil migrants. The organization says it has an agreement with Canada Border Services to monitor the migrants, but only when they have been secured.
We monitor the condition of their detention. We monitor make sure that they have access to family messaging, and this is something that we do all around the world. And we also ensure that they know their rights to access legal recourses in Canada.
Before that can happen, the migrant vessel must be boarded and steered to Vancouver Island. When a Tamil migrant ship arrived last October, armed crew members from HMCS Regina were responsible for navigating the ship to Ogden Point.
They were very low on fuel, and we had to add oil to their engines. I understand they've been doing that every 4 hours.
The military won't confirm if it is involved in this latest arrival, but HMCS Winnipeg sailed from Esquimalt Harbour in the last 24 hours. And HMCS Calgary, returning from war games near Hawaii, was to have returned home 2 weeks ago. But it's still at sea. It's looking unlikely that once the ship is boarded, it will be taken to Ogden Point, unless it arrives overnight. That's the location where the last migrant ship was docked.
I don't think it's possible. CBSA would have contacted us by now, and we've had no contact with them. And we also have a cruise ship due in tomorrow during the day and 2 at night.
But a sign it will dock somewhere near the cruise ship terminal, a small flotilla of RCMP boats is now stationed at Victoria's inner harbor, the same boats used to board the migrant ship in October last year.
Now, Stephen, we heard earlier today from sources in Ottawa that there has been one death on the ship, and you have information that would seem to bear that out.
Well, actually, the coroner's office has put themselves on standby. They're not confirming, though, whether there has been a death. They say that that's going to be the purview of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or when it gets into Canadian waters, the Minister of the Public Safety. But they're certainly not confirming that tonight. But as I said, they have put themselves on standby.
And what about the speculation that it may be taken directly to CFB Esquimalt? What kind of activity have you seen there today?
Well, we are seeing some activity, Hudson. It certainly makes sense. I mean, there's some concern whether those tents have actually been up or that staging area is being created. I know they're trying to keep everything under wraps. They've signed people to confidentiality agreements if they are supplying equipment or any kind of food and such. The one thing I would say about that, it certainly makes sense because they need a very secure area to deal with these migrants, and certainly that will take some time to set up. And as we know, we haven't seen any activity here yet.
And in terms of medical care, what else do you know about Victoria General?
Well, we do know that they have 75 beds that are ready. There are some concerns. Some of the workers are telling us today, though they won't go on camera for fear of losing their jobs, they say that they are very concerned about going in there. They've been putting these masks on their face, and then they've been spraying a kind of a substance at them. If they can taste it, then that means that they can't work in that area because the infection could leak in behind the mask. But there is definitely some concern about working with these migrants once they arrive at Victoria General, Hudson.
All right, we'll keep waiting and watching. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Stephen Andrew reporting live at Ogden Point.